A closer look at environmental studies, creative cooking in our kitchen, and a look about knowledge and to learn more about dieting in America. All that's coming right up, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We're very glad you're there. And today, we will talk with the director of the Environmental Studies Center. And in our kitchen, Judi, the super cake maker. And we have more. But right now, let's take a look at consumer news across the nation. It seems that $30 billion a year are spent by Americans on diets. But most of them are not really knowledgeable about which ones are the best for them. But now there's a website that can help, and here is how you can get in touch.
Americans spend $30 billion a year on diets, but one problem dieters face is choosing which diet will work for them. Adding online versions of two popular diets, the Atkins diet and the Zone diet, to a leading diet website may help users narrow down which diet works best for them. By considering individual needs and goals, the site, www.ediets.com, helps users choose from more than a dozen different diets and then further customize that diet to their lifestyle and food preferences. The interactive site describes daily meal plans and offers delicious recipes, lets you print out customized shopping lists, and offers 24-hour email support 7 days a week.
The key to success is knowledge, and this site will offer an excellent support tool.
Plans on eDiets cost $5 a week with the option to cancel at any time. For more information, visit www.ediets.com.
From the medical comes the news that women with breast cancer, advanced cases, now have more of a treatment that is very effective. Now, here are some of the things they suggest that you do to help.
There may be new treatment options for thousands of American women with advanced breast cancer who produce too much of a protein called HER2. A new study shows adding paraplatin, also known as carboplatin, to Taxol and Herceptin improves these patients' response to treatment. The news is significant because breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related death in women, with more than 200,000 cases diagnosed each year in the U.S. Approximately 30% of women with advanced breast cancer produce too much HER2, which is associated with aggressive disease and poor diagnosis.
We found out that by adding carboplatin to paclitaxel and trastuzumab, we could improve the outcome of our patients, improve the chance of the tumor getting smaller, improve the time that we can have the cancer under control, and hopefully improve survival.
Dr. Aubert encourages physicians to consider treating HER2-positive advanced breast cancer patients with this combination. For more information about treatments, speak with your healthcare provider.
If you're planning and hoping that you can have digital television to upgrade your television at home, you may not know how it works, but here's where you can find out a lot of facts on that subject.
Picture this: a high-quality television that can receive and display images more than 5 times the sharpness of your television now. Add to that a sound system that surrounds you. It's called high-definition television, also known as digital TV. How do you get it? Some digital television sets have the digital decoding and tuning functions built into the TV, an integrated one-product solution. Others are a 2-part system: a digital monitor capable of receiving high-definition or enhanced definition or standard definition TV signals, plus a tuner in a separate set-top decoder box. The 2-part solution lets you upgrade to digital TV when you are ready. If stations broadcast digital television, an integrated set is probably the set to buy. Digital TV programming is available over the air, via home satellite systems, and in some areas by cable. Is your current television obsolete? Today's analog televisions will continue to receive analog broadcasts at least through 2006. For more information, visit www.dtvweb.org.
Welcome back. Well, if you don't know or haven't heard about the Environmental Studies Center, which is attached to the public school system in Mobile County, then you're going to learn about it today because the director is here to open up our eyes and tell us what it's all about. Please welcome Lloyd Scott. Hello, how are
Good
you?
morning.
So glad you came.
Thank you. I'm glad you invited me.
Yes. You know, before we even get into anything, I think, would you define for me the real purpose of the center?
Well, the Environmental Studies Center is a resource, a natural resource, a fairly large land area that allows us to get youngsters from throughout our county and others as well, the public can come in, to study the natural environment, to study the natural world. We've got a wonderful opportunity out on Gerby Road, just past Knollwood Hospital, with several hundred acres that we can study our natural environment.
Well, your natural environment, and then of course there's the man-made environment. What do you mean by that?
Yes, we also have a nice instructional building, 10,000 square foot instructional building that has classrooms, an auditorium, it has laboratories to assist us with our wildlife exhibits. We have offices for our staff and exhibits inside the building. So what we've done is combine the man-made environment with the natural environment to provide an excellent learning opportunity for the kids.
Well, now, is it open also to the public?
Yes, the Environmental Center is open 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. And anytime during our regular operating hours, the general public can come in, sign in at our main office, and take a casual tour of our facilities.
They don't have to call or make a reservation ahead.
Now,
but your school tours have to make a reservation.
Any group visits to our facilities do require advanced reservations.
Well, you brought along two very interesting guests to the show today. An owl, and of all things, a snake. Now, this is the first on the Dot Moore Show. I've been on the air 45 years, and I've never had a snake as a special guest.
Well, Dot, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and take this specimen out. And
well, just so you keep him over on your side.
And it's one of the non-venomous species that we have at the Environmental Center. This is the red rat snake, or corn snake. It's one of the non-venomous species that is relatively common in Mobile.
They're pretty on the underside.
You see, the belly of the snake has got some very beautiful ventral scales that we call them, and the dorsal or the upper side of the snake is beautifully patterned as well with this copper to reddish looking color. These are quite valuable. In fact, they are rodent control agents because their natural food source in the wild is predominantly small mammals, rodents particularly. And we have named this one Rusty.
Rusty. Well, that's pretty apropos.
We share this this particular individual with the youngsters. They have an opportunity to see.
But you know, they are, well, yes, they are too. They've always been called slimy, but
they're actually
they have a lot of oil or something.
But their scales are mostly a dry type of scale. This one is on the verge of molting or shedding. It won't be long before this
Now,
one
those
sheds.
are his fangs that he sticks out,
No,
but they're not venomous?
That's actually his tongue.
His tongue?
And he's sensing the surroundings with his tongue.
Oh, my word.
In common language, you would say the snake smells with his tongue. He can sense
Is that's
the chemicals.
why they
yes.
keep... Okay, we're going to run short of time here, and you have brought along some other visuals
I think I'm just
that we're going to take a look at
I'm going to
now.
hold Rusty as we talk.
Okay, and identify for the public. And also I brought along an owl. Here's here. Oh boy, I love owls.
This is a screech owl. That's the smallest species of owl that we have in our area.
Yeah.
It's one of about 5 species of owls. That
Well, now it actually screeches a high note.
It has a high shrilling sound when it calls it, and it's all owls are nocturnal. That is, they are most active at night.
Really?
And you will often hear the screech owl in the woodlands. In fact, right in the middle of Mobile, there are many screech owls. Our city is so heavily wooded, quite frankly.
Well, let's get to some of the visuals you brought. Now, here we go on tape.
We have a number of animals on exhibit at the center, animals that are native to this area, one of which is the raccoon, of course. Raccoons are quite common in our county, and we make we try to impress on youngsters that they shouldn't make pets out of these wild animals, but they are interesting, and we do tour the facilities with them. These are white-tailed deer. We have over an acre, a little over an acre of ground in which we have our deer run. One of these animals, if you look closely on the left, is missing its right front leg. And that was due to a hunting accident where the hunter probably shot the animal and was not able to find it, and therefore it was able to escape. This is our pitcher plant bog, one of the many natural habitats that we have at the center, and this is just a wonderful habitat for a great number of very interesting and unusual plants, many of which can capture insects and consume those insects to supplement their food diet. The pitcher plant bog is what we refer to.
Well, now you also have something very interesting that I've heard about, and that's your wildlife rehab program.
Yes. Many of the animals that we have in our exhibit collection are animals that have been brought to the center because they have been injured or orphaned. And some of the injured animals are not capable of being fully rehabilitated, and we can't release them back into the wild, so we keep them at our site to share with the youngsters.
Now you rely on some volunteers, I guess.
Absolutely. Our wildlife rehab program is manned, or most of our workers are volunteers.
We're out of time.
Well, I wish.
And I appreciate your coming.
Would like to invite everybody out.
I suggest that you get in touch with this center and go out and see all of these.
We have open house November the 1st.
Work.
Thank you.
Okay. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And we're in the kitchen with Judi Freeman. And of course, the fall season, apples always go with that idea as a fruit. And that's what you're dealing with today. Tell me all about it.
Right. We're going to do a wonderful apple cake. When I got married in 1962, a good friend, I actually got married in 1961, excuse me. Don't even know when I got married. 61. A good friend of mine gave me this apple recipe, and I made it down through the years for my children.
Really?
And so I thought the rest of Mobile would enjoy having this wonderful apple recipe. You can cook this apple cake in a bundt pan or any kind of pans. I chose this kind of pan. Look. Isn't that unusual? And it's a like a Pullman loaf bread pan, and then you can just make slices, and people can just
have it lightly greased.
I do. I have a little pan coat on it. We've talked about that pan coat before, and it's on my website if you want to go on my website and get it. This recipe will also be on my website. We're going to start with flour, and you can get on the website and get the particulars of measurements.
Okay.
We have flour. We have a cup of granulated sugar. We have a cup of brown sugar. Now, this is going to be real hard. This is so hard and so hard to do. We're going to add all our dry ingredients. And this is one thing that's in it that I'd like to introduce. It is
wheat germ.
Wheat germ. This is the thing they take out of our bread, out of our flour when they make our bread.
Really?
Yeah, they take it out.
Wonder why?
But I don't know. We want that white bread that has no value in it, I think. But this is wheat germ. We're going to put a little wheat germ in. You'll never know by the taste that it's in there, but your body will enjoy the fact that it's very good for you.
That's just like a light powder, isn't it?
It is, and this is just our dry ingredients. We're going to add some pecans And we're going to add dates.
Yes, and they're chopped up in little pieces.
Right, and if you didn't want dates, if you didn't think you might like dates, you could use raisins, you could use dried cranberry, you could use any kind of dried fruit. All right, now look, we're just kind of stirring this around a little bit, not going to do a whole lot to it. Then I'm going to add cinnamon, I'm going to add soda, and I'm going to add salt right there.
Cinnamon adds good taste.
Wonderful color.
I love it.
That's
yeah.
one reason, it's the color that it is. All right, now I'm going to add all of the fat that will be in this cake will be a half a stick of margarine.
Oh, well,
Could
that's
be
not...
butter, could be butter or margarine. And I'm not even going to worry with it too much. It'll get stirred in. I'm going to put 2 nice, fresh eggs in and no other liquid. The reason there's no other liquid is we have liquid in our
boy.
apples. So I'm going to pour 4 cups of wonderful apples. You can mix apples between the green Granny Smith and the delicious apple.
I'm going to have a bite.
Yes, have a bite. All right, I've got 4 cups. I'm going to dump my dry ingredients and my eggs right in on top of here. And I'm going to stir now. How bad and how hard is this? It's not hard at all, is it? Not at all. Let me get my butter out of my whisk. And then, now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this. And as I turn it, those apples will release moisture. And before you know it, we will have a dough.
You mean to tell me that's the only moisture?
That's all. That's all.
Well, that's
It's the
interesting,
apple,
yeah.
See, this flour will cause that apple just to pull moisture right out of it. That little bit of butter will get stirred in as we do this, but see, the more I stir it, the more it becomes a dough. And that is all we're going to do to this. We're going to put it in this long pan. We're going to bake it at 350 degrees for probably an hour.
Oh, really?
It needs a long time.
Well, that's
to
a
make.
pretty large cake.
It's a lot of cake. Both of these came out of this one pan. And now, if you wanted to add other things to this, you could. But you see, as I stir it, how it's becoming wet. See how
it's getting
wet?
real wet.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's the apple. And that apple's going to give it a wonderful natural sweetness. If your children like raisins or don't like raisins, you can add them or leave them out.
But you know, that is so nutritive and not much fat content.
Well, almost none.
Yeah.
If you sold this in a grocery store, you could say it's fat-free.
Yeah.
Because it has such a little amount. You'll have one,
But
two, three,
I'm
four.
amazed at the moisture that comes out of those apples. We underestimate
The liquid that's in
liquid
an
that's
apple.
in them, yeah.
We will have probably 20 slices because some of these slices have already been eaten. You know,
Yeah,
people
I
have
noticed that.
tasted them. So in 20 slices, we have a half a stick of margarine, which winds up not even 1/8 of a teaspoon. So, you know, it's just, there's not much fat in it at all.
Well,
And
you've
so
given,
look how wet it's become.
yeah, it's getting really wet. That's
It will.
amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, actually, that's all the stirring that we need to do. All I would do is put that in
You
the pan,
just put it in the oven.
put it in the oven, 350 degrees for about an hour.
And you have presented me with a piece to sample, and I can't wait. So moist, it's unbelievable.
The dates really add a lot of moisture.
So good.
The cooked apple adds so much moisture. And this pan, I think, is just very an unusual way to bake it.
And that's going to do it for us, Miss Judi.
Okay, well, it was wonderful to be
But
here.
you know, that's pretty simple in a way.
Way
because,
simple.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. See you next time.
Okay, welcome to the fall. Huh? We'll be back. Stay with us. There's new hope today for baby boomers who need a knee or maybe a hip replacement. And reporter Sue Berg now gives us the details on how this treatment is standing the test of time.
760, go ahead.
By traditional standards, 44-year-old police officer Tim Spillman is too young for hip and knee replacements.
I was 42 when I had the knees replaced. And like I said, the original doctors were like, you know, we're going to try to patch you and just give you drugs and get you through some time, and eventually we'll get you a knee. But the problem was they were always worried about it wearing out.
Tim underwent double knee replacement and a hip replacement surgery with oxinium joint replacement implants, a material of choice for younger, more active patients.
A number of things I like about the oxinium products. First, it's been researched and studied for over 10 years. Second, it's a surface that gives wonderful wear characteristics. I feel very confident that it's, at its very worst, going to do better than what we've used to use at its very best.
Anytime two moving parts, such as the two parts of a knee joint or a hip socket, repeatedly rub together, friction occurs, resulting in scratches that cause fragments of the plastic implant components to break off and wear down. Wear is a primary reason an implant may fail, causing an individual to undergo a repeat surgery. The surface material of oxinium implants reduces friction, meaning less potential for wear, and a device that should last longer.
The use of oxinium implants is certainly driven by patient age and activity level more than anything else. The younger, more active patient tends to get an oxinium implant.
Oxinium material has undergone over 14 years of research, development, and testing, and has been successfully used in more than 20,000 patients since 1998.
We're just very fortunate to be able to practice and operate in an era where we do have good materials and good products like oxinium implants that we can hopefully make these things last longer and longer.
I can do so much more than I could 7, 8 years ago. It's just unreal.
This is Sue Berg reporting.
And that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.